Hi guys, welcome back. Nicole Sciacca here. This flow is shoulder mobility and wrist mobility. So we're going to be incorporating a little bit of Dr. Andrea Spino's controlled articular rotations, also known as CARs. The idea is that the more mobile your joints are, the more healthy you are operationally speaking. The joints are the kind of the secret to good health. We operate in certain habitual patterns and we move one way, but we don't take the global path of a joint that is available to us. So the shoulders and the hips, ball and socket joints that move all the way around and through, and say we just spend our lives doing this and this. And we wonder why reaching to the backseat of a car is jarring and horrible. It's because we don't operate in a global way. We don't get to the entire circumference of the joint really taken care of. So we're going to take a look at moving the shoulders, moving the wrists, and it'll still be kind of sweaty. So welcome. You'll need maybe 2 blocks. I'm sitting on one. Got my other one handy over here. So once you're ready, we're going to start in this position. I'm on my block, as I mentioned, in Virasana, hero's pose. If that's comfortable for you, great. If you need to be in another variation, totally do what you need to do. So to start this practice, you're going to bring your right hand to your left ribs. I was going to mirror you, but we'll figure it out. Right hand to your left ribs. And you're going to take your left arm as actively as you can into a blade hand. Yeah? And then we're going to do something called irradiation, where you take a big breath in, and you pack the breath into your belly, and then you start to tense up all the other parts of the body, all the other tissue, so that the joint that's rotating has a little more strength and a little more power, right? So from here, you're going to take your left arm forward, You're going to reach the arm as high as you can go. When you get to that place, you're going to rotate your bicep away from you and all the way around without taking your ribs or your shoulder or your scapula with you. So this is the true range of motion for this joint. Mine's not awesome. Which is why I do these every day, because it's gotten better. You're going to rotate to the point where your pinky finger is forward, and then you're going to reverse this. So I hit my max effort here, and then I externally rotate the arm bone and the socket, go up and around, and I bring it back forward. There's all kinds of clicking and popping going on in my shoulder, and it's to be expected. It's fine. If you feel pain on, say, a closing angle, where it's sharp pinching pain, I want you to go around it, not through that, okay? So you're going to keep rotating all the way around. Good. And then you switch sides. Opposite hand grabs the ribs. This is, again, to keep you honest. If it doesn't work for you, you want to keep the arm down, you can do that as well. Inhale, right arm goes up. Go as high as you can without lifting ribs or scapula, right? You're just taking the arm bone on its own. Rotate the bicep away from your face. Keep the elbows straight and strong. Go all around. Keep rotating. This is the hardest part for most of us. Deep internal rotation. All the way around. Pinky finger forward. Reach it back. Externally rotate the arm bone. Wrap. And I can speak from experience on this. I had 2 frozen shoulders about 8 months ago, maybe 9 months ago. So I sought out some mobility work, a physical therapist, dove headfirst into all of that. I have had nothing but healthy shoulders since I've been doing this. I mean, I'm talking incredibly healthy shoulders that feel good, they click a little bit, but so much more improved since I've been doing these. Great. From here, you're going to set that down. You're going to bring your hands forward. You're going to grab one hand around the radius and ulnus, the 2 bones in your forearm here. You're going to flex your hand, keep the fingers together. From here, you're going to rotate your pinky finger inward, all the way up and around. See how my hand stays straight? I'm not curling my hand. All the way around. These 2 bones are not moving. One more time, same rotation. All the way around. You can do that irradiation if you like, and then switch direction. So what that means is you're tensing up all the other tissue so that you have a little more strength to focus on the joint we're rotating. Good. Oof. And then switching sides. Grabbing for the other forearm. Big breath in. Pack it down. Tense up everywhere else. Good. Fingertips go up. And open. And around. This may not be very impressive. I want you to be mindful of that. It doesn't need to be impressive. It needs to work for you. Go the other direction. And if you're not moving from an honest place, then how can you improve, right? If we're too busy trying to impress ourselves or someone watching, no good. All the way around. Great. I'm going to shake it out. Nice. From here, we're going to try something else a little weird. You're going to take your arms forward. You're going to pinky finger, ring finger, birdie finger, index finger, and then you're going to take your knuckles and draw them in toward your forearm bones, and then let your thumbs move toward each other, all the way down, as far out to the side as they can, so your forearm bones get to rotate, your arm bones get to rotate, and you're going to unscrew the arm bones all the way around, and then thumb, index finger, birdie, pinky, or ring, and pinky finger. Good. Shake it out. Nice. From here, you're coming on to all fours. So we're going to do something right here that is called puttering. I just want you to putter around, taking your hands in all different directions. Notice what that feels like. Sometimes I switch it up and do one hand at a time. And then the other direction, one hand at a time. Be mindful you're determining how much weight your wrist is bearing, so don't make it unbearable. Good. From here, I'm going to turn to you so you can see what we're doing here. You can take your fingertips towards your kneecaps. You're going to take the weight back into your heels, lift the heel of your hand, keep your thumbs straight, and then take gigantic thumb circles. Yep, just on its own. And then the other direction. These are our texting thumbs. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Good. Shake it out. From here, guys, you're going to take one or two of your blocks. We're going to get out of the wrist for a moment. And then you're going to bring one block to the outside of your right foot and one block to the outside of your left foot. It doesn't matter what the height is, you'll see in a moment. We're going to take one hand to the block. Inhale, lift the hips up. And then rotate down. Opposite arm reaches. So maybe you find that you don't need the block at all. You can bring your hand to the floor, lift the hips. It's more of a hip thrust. You're going to feel a little bit of heat building in the fronts of the legs. You can let that happen. Move toward it. If you find you do need a block after a moment or two, feel free to grab it. You got them. Last set here. Let your arms wrap and rotate all the way up. Good. And then coming forward. Nice, y'all. I'm going to have you set up for a downward facing dog now that your wrists and your shoulders are prepped for it. Hands are shoulder width. You can curl your toes under and find your way back. If you need to pedal out the legs a moment, just kind of see what's going on, the low body today. Maybe you start this down dog with a slightly wider stance and bent knees. Let the head drop. Arm bones hug together, big breath. Good. From here, you're going to shift forward to your plank pose. From here, my friends, you're going to lower all the way down to your belly. You're going to take one of your blocks. You're going to bring it directly in front of you. You may or may not need this, so we're going to see how this goes to start. You're going to bring your hands behind your head, and you can interlace your fingers if you like, but you're going to be moving through these things called swimmers. So, hopefully you can hear me. My hands are at the back of my neck. Back of my head, rather. I'm going to lift my elbows. As high as my elbows can go. I'm going to hover my head so you can hear me. High as my elbows can go. From this place, I'm going to straighten my arms out in a giant Y shape. I'm going to reach them back behind me, internally rotate my arm bones, keep reaching as high as I can, and then bend the elbows and place my hands at my low back or maybe a little bit higher, and then I'm going to rest. So you have about 10% effort in the legs. I want you to also, if you want, include the irradiation. So you're firming and tensing the rest of the body, isolating just the shoulder joint. From here, take a big breath in. Pack the breath into your belly, root the legs down, recruit the legs to tense up. Let your elbows lift high as they can. Hands will float up. Extend the arm bones. Keep the elbows straight. Rotate, rotate, rotate. When you need to externally rotate, you do so. Bringing the arms forward. All the way forward, and then hands to the back of the head, lift the elbows. Elbows rest. Beautiful. One more time, same thing. Elbows will lift. Breath is packed down into the belly. Arms extend. Sweep them back behind you. Rotate the arm bones. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Elbows bend. Hands come behind you, resting, and then let the elbows drop. One more to go. Elbows lift. Hands lift. Extend the arm bones back as high as you can get them. Rotate with your blade hands all the way around. Hands to the back of the neck. And release. Oh boy. Good job, you guys. Bring your forearm bones underneath. Your elbow creases underneath your shoulders. Forearm bones are parallel like the number 11. You're going to pull your chest forward. Take a big breath. Make sure this doesn't live in the low back, so draw your navel in and up. Give that some buoyancy. Go ahead, you guys. And then pull back, downward facing dog. Even my down dog feels better after I do those rotations. It's just prepping the joints for bearing weight. It's so awesome. Take a big breath. Good. And then when you're ready, lower your left knee down. Step your right foot up so that you're in a low lunge. Your option to stay on the back foot, the top of the back foot, or to curl the back toes under if you prefer. You're going to take the shoulder cars one more time. So you're going to take your right hand around your left ribs. You're going to reach your left arm forward. Start to irradiate. Breath is in the belly. All other parts are starting to tense up, just giving a little bit more attention to the joint. Rotate, 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 rotate. Pinky finger forward. Reverse. Up and around. Good. This time, that was just one rotation. Left hand comes down, maybe to fingertips. You have your block handy if you want it. Right arm is going to peel up, and then right hand is either going to come behind your head, or the right hand can sweep and take a bit of an archer bind, moving into very deep internal rotation, peeling the chest open. 3 breaths. 2. And 1, slowly release the hand. Remove your block. Step back, downward facing dog. Big breath in. Exhale out of your mouth. Right foot will step down. Left foot will step up between the hands. Same idea here. Maybe you choose to curl the toes under. Maybe you're on the ball of the back foot. I like to curl my toes under because I can feel my buttocks squeeze and then my low belly draw in and up. I also feel a little bit of a stretch in the hip flexors in the front of this right hip. You take your left hand around the right ribs. Right arm goes forward. Take a big breath. Pack it into your belly. Start to fire up and tense up other tissues. Arm reaches high. Bicep moves away from you, away from you. Keep rotating. You're going to want to kind of cut that short. Keep rotating. Pinky finger forward. And then up behind you. Max effort. Externally rotate when you need to. Up and around. Keep reaching. Good. Exhale your right hand down, maybe to a block. From here, left arm will peel up and open. Again, it can stay high. It can move behind the head if that feels good. Or maybe it internally rotates around you, and then your fingers are spreading between the shoulder blades, peeling the chest open. 3 breaths here. Keep zippering up the low belly. 2. Good. Last big breath. Good, you guys. Exhale, release the hand down. Set your block aside. Foot back, downward facing dog. Notice there's no real vinyasas in here. We're just kind of working the shoulder in all different directions. 1 more big breath. Exhale out of your mouth. Good. From here, you're going to spin your back heel down on the diagonal and then step your right foot forward. If you need to assist that with your hand, feel free to. You're going to bring your block forward and set up for triangle pose. So we're going to come into this a little bit differently. I want you to bring the block to the outside of your right ankle. And then I want you to look down at your right toes and your right knee. Make sure they're all facing the ceiling. And then as you start to straighten the leg, I want you to pitch the hips back. So my left hip is slightly forward of my right hip here. And then I want you to draw the crown of your head forward. If you need to widen the stance, maybe you sneak your toes forward. And then left arm can reach up and overhead. It can reach directly to the ceiling, or you can take one more time, internally rotate this left arm, let it wrap between the shoulder blades, peel your chest open. 3 breaths here. If this doesn't feel good in the low back, if it doesn't feel good in the front hamstring, maybe you take the block higher. The idea is that you don't want to feel pinching in this right hip and this right hip crease. Yeah, there's got to be a sense of lightness there. One more big breath. And then slowly release. And you're going to switch your legs out. Nothing fancy. Right foot spins down. Left foot steps up. Block moves to the outside of the left ankle. Again, check to make sure what's going on here. Knee, toes right at the ceiling. Begin to kick this pelvis back to the wall behind you so that this crease is deeper. Deep, deep, deep. And then left hand will land at a block maybe, an ankle, the floor. Top arm can reach overhead if you prefer that variation. To the ceiling. Maybe it internally wraps and you try for this variation today. Fingertips between the shoulder blade. Breath is full, low belly draws in. 2. If you need to widen the stance, you can do that as well. Last big breath. Great, you guys are releasing the hand down. Setting the block out of the way. Step back, down dog. When you're ready, lower your knees down. Great, you guys. You're going to cross your ankles, have a seat down at your bum. You're going to take your 2 blocks here. And I like to set this up kind of like a plus and minus sign. So this block will be at the base of the shoulder blades. This block will be behind your head. And if this is too high, which it very well could be, you're going to lower down to the shorter side. Some people like to go like 2 equal signs. You can do that as well. Whatever works for you. I'm going to start here and see how this feels for me today. So I like to start with my buttocks set up, my legs almost in a bridge pose, and then I bring my hands around the base of the block so I can adjust and figure out where the tips of my shoulder blades are. And then I line up here. Once you're there, you're going to let your head extend back, and then it should rest at the block. If it's too far away, adjust it. If you need to go a little bit shorter, more than welcome to do that too. If you need to remove your ponytail, you're more than welcome to do that too. And then a couple options. Maybe you cactus these arms open. Maybe you clasp your elbows overhead and let the arm bones rest. Let gravity assist you here. If you get into this position and realize you need to make a new choice, either lowering the blocks or taking them higher, you can do that. Last breath. If you have a grip on the arms, you're going to switch the bind, put the other forearm bone on top. The arms rest and dangle. Breath is full. You guys, letting go of the arms. You're going to find the cactus shape if you've been in the cross forearm variation. Let your arms extend for just 3 breaths. When you're ready, slowly use your hands to press yourself up. Use your low belly. Kind of tuck the chin. Press up and off of your blocks. Awesome job, you guys. Thank you for playing along today. I hope your shoulders feel like little limp noodles in a good way. And I appreciate you. Follow me on Instagram. Send me messages. I love it when you guys give us feedback. It's fantastic. Let me know if there's anything you need in particular. Have a great day.